What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be picking up where we left off last week. We put the transmission, the clutch, the flywheel in, and as I mentioned before, the pedal felt real soft and spongy, so rather than just try to bleed that system out, might as well upgrade everything. So I picked up a new slave cylinder, stainless line, and also a new master cylinder. So I'm going to replace that, take the line out, and replace this. Alright, so first we're going to try to get all the fluid out the system. I have this clear bottle I made up with a hose. It's just a hole drilled in the cap. It goes all the way down to the bottom. I have really good success bleeding my brakes with this and other things. So basically we're going to put a 9mm wrench on the nipple, put the hose on it, crack this open, go inside the car and pump the clutch pedal till all the fluid's out. So about 95% of the fluid is out. And as you can see, this stuff was super dirty, probably had a lot of moisture in it. So now we are going to take off the two 12mm bolts on the slave cylinder. Follow this hard line over here. You'll have two 10s, and then we're going to remove this intake so we can get to the rest of the brackets for the hard line. So once you have the intake out and remove the slave cylinder and the bracket on the transmission, move over to the frame rail. You'll have two 10s right here holding this bracket on. Right behind the transmission mount, you'll have a 10 right here holding this on. If you follow the line, it goes underneath the battery. So we're going to have to remove the battery in the tray. It's just 4 10s for the battery and I think 3 12s for the battery tray. Pull that out. So once you take out all the bolts, the line will be pretty loose. You have the battery tray out. This thick line right here is to the clutch. You'll have this plastic clip. Just pry this open with a flathead. Pop that out. I'm going to keep the plastic clip because I have my brake line running through it. Just follow that up and you'll come to this junction right here. You'll have two 10s. Once you get that loose, come around to this side, right down this area behind the two lines for the rear, for the brakes. You'll see it come in and you'll have another plastic clip. Pop that open, and then underneath the brake booster, just follow the line until you get to the master cylinder. So I ended up taking off the 10mm flare nut on that junction. The hose is sitting over there on the ground. So over here, I took off the two bolts that hold the reservoir on. I'm going to take off the squeeze clamp right here, and then I'm going to remove this 10mm flare nut on this side, and then pull that line all the way out. Alright, so now you can see the line is totally gone. Did clean it up a little bit, make a little bit more space. Eventually I would like to get rid of the fuel feed line and the fuel vent line right here. And also this big fuel filter, but that'll be another day. So to get this master cylinder out, you're going to have to squeeze under the dash by the clutch pedal. I'm going to show you what it looks like on the new one because it's going to be kind of hard to film. So you'll have two studs coming in. They'll have two 12 or 14mm bolts. I suggest using an extension and a swivel, makes it a lot easier. So I'm going to go under the dash, pop this off, and then we'll pick up after that. So this is the extension that I use to get the two 12s out. Makes it a lot easier. So also on the master cylinder, on the inside through the pedal, you'll have this little pin with a cotter pin going through it. So make sure you take that out or you'll just pull on this all day and it won't come out. So this thing's probably been in here since the car has been new. So basically I'm just going to pull that guy out, and this is going to go in the trash with the other slave cylinder. So now I'm going to remove this red plug and I'm going to thread the new fitting in for the stainless line, and we're going to reinstall this into the car. Clutch master's installed with the fitting, also the slave cylinder with the fitting. So now I'm going to grab the line and I'm going to figure out how I'm going to route it through the engine bay. The line is in now. I have it looped right there like a 180. and then it kind of runs under the brake booster, under the intake manifold, and it comes right next to the head where the transmission mounts up. You can see it right there. It just goes over the top of the trans, straight down into here. I have the master cylinder or the reservoir installed with the new Downstar hardware. Pretty sick. I like these a lot better than the Allen keys. So basically now I'm gonna try to bleed this. Regardless of what you've seen on the internet, you can do this by yourself. So I have the reservoir filled up. Probably just leave that off. But on the slave cylinder, I have my 9mm on here. Crack the bleeder valve all the way open and have it hose hooked up to it that goes to that bottle I showed you I made earlier, and just leave that open and pump the clutch. You need to pump it a bunch of times because that whole line has to fill up with fluid, and if you're not getting enough fluid coming through, or you're pumping it for a while and it's not coming through, on the inside where the master cylinder is, there's a jam nut right here. Loosen this up and then get a pair of pliers or something, and you can twist this whole shaft right here. This is attached to the pedal, so this won't spin. Clockwise to tighten it up, and then once it's tightened up, keep pumping it, and you should get fluid start coming through the line. And once you have the fluid coming through the line, you basically want to fill the whole hose up with fluid. That means there's no air, because the way that it is with the hose down submerged into fluid, when you pump it, there's no way air can come back. So just pump it a bunch of times and then adjust that shaft to get the clutch play how you want it. I like mine with like a 1/2 inch at the top before you start to feel pressure, but by adjusting this rod, that's how you're going to get the play that you like. And then once all that's done, you're just going to tighten up the jam nut. So I'm going to work on doing that now, and I'll let you know how it goes. Alright, so the clutch is all bled. I just took the car for a ride. It feels really good. The pedal feel doesn't feel as spongy as it did before I started this. So I found out the transmission doesn't grind at all. Clutch and flywheel that I put in last week feels great. It's really nice to drive this car considering I haven't driven it in almost a month. So I'm glad that it's back on the road and I don't have to worry about any like maintenance stuff, because pretty much everything on here is brand new. I think I'm going to change the alternator next, just for peace of mind, and keep the other one as a spare. But this is just basic routine maintenance stuff. These are wear parts like brake pads. They go bad and you have to change them. From the looks of it, this thing's pretty old. It's the original Honda one. It looks like it was leaking and stuff. So it's just nice to change that, this freshen up everything. But if you guys have any questions about installing this or the bleeding process, just let me know. I can make another video where I'll just show you how to straight bleed it, but it's pretty self-explanatory. But until next time, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.